Hello, my friends. This is another Astrological Voyages show with me, Christos, Archos, live from Athens. And today we are going to talk, of course, about what is going to happen in the next month, January 2020. I hope you have all great Christmas. You have a great time with your friends and your family. And I hope that love and happiness is what you're going to find in this time of the year. So let's start from the first important aspect of the month, and this is on the 2nd of January 2020. This is Mercury forming a conjunction with Jupiter, and is going to affect a lot the first decade of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. I think this is a great aspect because it's going to help a lot of people to manage their everyday obstacles and also to find fortune and happiness. But also don't forget that this Mercury-Jupiter conjunction is in Capricorn, so that means that perhaps some people may feel that in some way they are putting a lot of effort in business without looking on their personal situation and personal matters. Usually when we are looking at this kind of aspects like this Mercury Jupiter in Capricorn mostly have a result of looking always about having money and working hard with other people, but this is not very helpful at the end because it may create some problems, or sometimes our minds are always around fixing things and building things, but what is really important is that we really should look what is really happened within us. And this Mercury Jupiter conjunction in Capricorn may not be really well if we want to express our feelings, because Mercury and Jupiter, they are not very helpful in this matters. But if you are about doing a business, or if you want to do something great in your life that has to do with money, I think this is a great opportunity, and it's going to help you build new things in your life. And then we have on the 3rd of January 2020 Mars entering Sagittarius. I think this is a great position. Mars in Sagittarius is going to be very cerebral. We are going to be very spontaneous, and we can really be expressive. I think this is a great aspect if from my point of view, because it's going to help you a lot in finding solutions in your life. But also I think that a lot of people with Mars in Sagittarius, they can travel, and we can also be really happy with our lives. I think this is a great opportunity. And of course, if you are Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius, Gemini, you're going to feel this positive energy from Mars that is going to help you and is going to strengthen your power and your ego, and you're going to feel that you're going to fulfill your destiny. And I think this is a great opportunity for many people to express themselves and also be happy for what they are doing in their life. I think this is always a position that is going to bring people have faith in themselves. So this Mars in Sagittarius position is always very good in making us feel complete and do the job we want. I think this is a great aspect, a great position for Mars, because we can change and we can deliver something good to the others, which is, I think, really important. But what I think is the most important is that this Mars in Sagittarius is going to help us a lot in finding inner peace, and we can do multiple things that is going to bring us a lot of happiness. But beware if you are having lots of planets in Virgo, or you have a lot of planets in Pisces, you may feel some kind of being in a rush, because this is a position that is going to bring you a lot of conflict or a lot of problems in your life, especially in your business situation, but also in your financial matters. And then we have this Sun forming a sextile with Neptune, and I think this is a great aspect. This is going to happen on the 7th of January 2020. I think this is always about being aware of something else, about bringing new opportunities to your life, and also to create something new. I think that this Sun Neptune sextile is about being complete, is about being happy, and also being very creative. It is going to help a lot Capricorn and Cancer, but also Pisces and Virgo, and I think this is going to bring you a lot of new ideas. This is going to bring you a lot of new things in your life. I think this is always an aspect that is going to help you into creating a new vision and making it your reality, and this is always an aspect that can create a new possible incomes, which is, I think, the most important, and is going to help a lot of people in fixing their lives. And also on the 8th of January 2020, we have this Mercury forming a sextile with Neptune. So we have the Sun in the previous day forming this sextile, and then we have the Mercury forming this sextile, which is always something good. It's also something very good. It's again that the use of imagination and perhaps the positive income of your psychological inner work is going to help you become a better person and also feel this sense of being self-sufficient and fixing things and changing things and developing things, and that I think is very important. This is going to bring you a lot of happiness, and you are going to feel that a new perspective in your life is going to happen. This is going to affect a lot of the people around Capricorn, Cancer and Pisces, Virgo, around the 16th degree, and that belongs to the second decade, which is, I think, the most important aspect around this day. And on the 8th, of course, of January, we have this parallel between Sun and Pluto. It is a great aspect if you want to change things, and of course if you belong to the sign of Capricorn or the sign of Cancer, this is always a very positive aspect if you want to transform and get out of something like being in a prison and wanting to change finally something, and having the power to deal with things and being energetic and have some influence towards others. I think this is an aspect that is going to bring a lot of joy, but beware of power struggles, beware of extreme behaviors, because they are going to bring a lot of problems and conflicts and severe situations that they are not going to help us a lot. But I think this parallel between Sun and Pluto is going to bring something positive to people, that they are stuck in something, because you are going to feel the energy and the opportunity on changing things. And then we have on the 10th of January 2020 several aspects, but the most important is the full moon and the eclipse at the same time. I think this is a very powerful eclipse. We're going to talk about this eclipse in the next show, in the next Astrological Voyages show, but what I want to share with you right now is that this eclipse that is going to happen on the 10th of January, it is an eclipse of endings, but also an eclipse of beginnings. And also this is an eclipse about being impulsive. Be aware not to be really impulsive. We have this Mars forming semi-squares with the Sun, with Moon, and also with Mercury. And this is about being provocative and have high energy. But if you have planets around the 19, 20, 21 degrees of Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, I think this is going to bring you some conflict. So you really need to be careful. You really need to care about yourself and not put yourself into extremes. And also do not drive while you were already drunk, and to be really cautious when you express your anger. Try to be as much as you can constructive. Don't try to push things, and also try to enjoy your life and try to do something positive and something good, because you are going to change your life in very positive ways if you do not let the anchor destroy your everyday life. And also this is always an aspect that is going to bring some kind of conflict in your everyday situations, but also it is always about problems with inheritance or problems with the family, problems with social status, problems with what we call let's say the risk of having power struggles with your family or with power figures, people that they have power in their hands. So you really need to be very careful. And on the 12th of January 2020, we have a really bad day. This is not a very constructive day. We have Mercury conjunct Saturn, Mercury conjunct Pluto, and we have also Saturn and Pluto forming a conjunction. Of course, we've talked several times about this conjunction. I'm going to talk also in my next show, in the next Tuesday for me, Monday for America, for United States. This is about resolving and ending and creating a crisis, but at the same time on changing what is important in your life. I think this is a passage, a transformation of something. Yes, it may dissolve something, but also something new is going to be created, and you're going to feel empowered and very, very strong with those changes. And this is, I think, the biggest opportunity in doing things in your life, which is, I think, the most important. And then I have the Sun forming a conjunction with the Saturn on the 13th of January. And this is, I think, a great aspect. It has to do about having control, because all these passionate and strong emotions that are going to raise from these aspects on the 12th of January, I think that this conjunction with Sun and Saturn is going to bring some limitations, but also it's going to help us become more conservative with things. And I think this is always an aspect that is going to bring us something new in our life. And this is, I think, great, because we are going to be restrictive, because all of these aspects before that are very volcanic. We are going to be very we're going to feel very powerful, and through when we feel that we have the power, we are going to bring some tensions in our life, and this is not something good. And then we have Venus forming a sextile with Uranus and having a contra parallel on the 15th of January 2020. And this is about making something new in your life, about having a new romantic activity, perhaps meeting something new, or perhaps bringing something of joy in an old relationship. I think this is always an opportunity in creating something and building something new from where you couldn't believe that you had it. And we have Mercury entering Aquarius on the 16th of January. This is always a positive situation for Mercury, very good placement. Mercury in Aquarius is about having new ideas, about meeting new people, about creating alliances that are going to bring something constructive in our life. And I think this is a great aspect, a great placement if you really want to do something and change your life and be positive and finding solutions in problems that you didn't expect it. And on 18th of January 2020, we have this square with Uranus. Yes, it may bring some conflict, and you need to be really careful with your the way you're working, and especially if you have planets around the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd degree of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Yes, you really need to be very careful. But at the same time, I think this is about bringing something new, a new idea that is going to solve many things, and you're going to feel happy and communicative with the others. And I think this is going also to help you bring in something positive in your everyday life. But of course, at the same time, this aspect is going to bring some communication problems, and we may have tensions in our everyday life, and this is not always positive. This is an aspect that we really need to be really careful, because it may bring instabilities, and especially if you belong to the first decade of the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And then on the 23rd of January 2020, we have the Sun forming a square with Uranus. I think this is about impulsiveness. It's about wanting to change things and developing a sense of being more revolutionizing. But I think this is an aspect that is going to bring some kind of innovation. So if you want to do something new, if you want to manage something new in your life or bring something new in your life, I think this is a very positive aspect. It's going to bring a lot of joy, and it's going to make you really happy. And I think if you don't go into this impulsiveness and a sense of being very aggressive towards others, I think this is a very constructive aspect, and it's going to bring you something new that is going to make you being happy and delightful. On the 23rd of January 2020, we have Venus forming a great sextile with Jupiter, and this is about being generous, being happy, being optimistic, and I think it's about creating something new in your business or something new in your love life. It's going to affect Pisces, Virgo, Cancer, and Capricorn around 10, 11, and 12 degree. It is about creating something constructive, and that constructiveness is about forming something positive in your life and in your situation. I think this is an aspect that is going to help you a lot of being complete, and you can take advantage of this aspect if you really want to do something with your life and also act in a very positive way. And then we have this Mercury forming a sextile with Mars on the 25th of January. This is a great aspect, because it's going to bring a lot of joy to Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, and Sagittarius around the 15th degree, 14, 15, and 16th degree of those signs. You are going to feel really powerful, fast, competitive, strong, solving problems, dealing with everyday situations, transforming situations, fight back for what you believe is yours, and also enjoy being happy with other people and friends, or making new friends, and feeling complete and perhaps even more powerful in your everyday situation. This is a great aspect also for physical exercise or reading and learning things, that you're going to feel more empowered and complete in everyday sense of your life. On the 26th of January, we have this square between Venus and Mars on the signs of the mutable signs. Geminis, Sagittarians, Pisces, and Virgo are going to be affected, and some emotional problems may arise, but at the same time, something very passionate and very intense may come to your life. Of course, this is not a good aspect in buying something new or changing something in your house, but I think this is about having a crush, is about meeting something new. But if you are already in a relationship, try to avoid solving problems with your mate, because this is not a good aspect in solving things, except if you're going to solve things through a more physical way in your life. And this Venus is going to have a conjunction with Neptune, so we have a 3-day story. On the 26th we have Venus forming a square with Mars. On the 27th we have Venus forming a conjunction with Neptune. On the 28th we have Mars forming a square with Neptune. This is a story, this is a great story that is about finding love, but at the same time it's a great story of finding your nightmare. So you really need to be careful. You have to look your natal chart, because all of these aspects may bring something very positive: being in love, being complete, finding happiness, finding your fairy tale. But also it may mean that you are being deceived by others or by yourselves. Try not to make any contracts or communicate about money matters. This is not a good aspect for this. This is a period that you may find your love life or being happy with your friends, but try not to deceive yourself, or you feel that you are that others do not tell you the true story of the things. You really need to be careful about that. And of course, on the 28th of January, this is always an aspect of being protective with what you are doing, because there is a miscalculation. If you are having planets around the 15 to the 17 degree of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo and Pisces, you really need to be careful, because you may have some strange stories to tell around this period. So I think that this month, January 2020, it starts very aggressive, but at the same time very constructive. Yes, you really need to be careful, because we have an eclipse, and this is always a period that you may feel the anger, or you need to really be very careful what you're saying and what you're doing. But at the same time, I think this is also a great opportunity in finding a new job, creating new ideas, being innovative, and also through these innovative ideas forming something new that is going to have really a great success. And also this is I think a great month in forming new relationships. Just try not to make the wrong assumptions. Try to look at the true story of what really happens. Do not try to interpret behaviors. Try and ask others, when you are having a communication disagreement with someone else, or if you are not sure about what really happens with the other, try to ask them. Do not try and change the story of what you are seeing. Try to focus in what is really important, and do not try to interpret in your own way what really happens in your life, because you may see things in a very positive way or in a very negative way. So either way, you really need to get stuck with reality and what really happens with the other person. Do not try to avoid things, and try to communicate in a very clear way, and try also to hear the others. At least in Greece we say we have 1 month and 2 years, because we really need to hear more than talk. And I think this is the most important thing we really need to do in this month, because we really need to hear first, and very, very careful in order not to make mistakes. And at the same time, we really need not to be really aggressive towards others. Thank you really very much for your time. Those was my predictions for the next month. Don't forget to be with me in the next show, the next Astrological Voyages. We are going to talk about the major events that are going to affect us in 2020. This is going to be big. This is going to be a big show. So I'm going really to have a lot of opportunities to give you the proper information of what really going to happen in the next year. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being with me. We are going to talk again really soon. And thank you for spending and being with me in all of this time. Have a nice day, night, afternoon, in whatever place you are in this world. And have really, really good Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.